Yes, sir. When I took a couple weeks off from work and whatnot, and I was making the moves to get this equipment, my microphone, and everything that I needed to get this little channel slash podcast started and whatnot. The brother that was helping me before I got all my stuff and I was closing out, he told me, man, I hope you're gonna try to help some brothers out here and whatnot, cause there's a lot of dudes out here that's not talking about nothing, and I already know that. And then when I get on the YouTube to this sector of this so-called black YouTube section, man, these brothers might as well start a gossip section, bro. I mean, when I used to have these little scythe convos with my guys, we talk about this all the time. That brothers around us, whether it's another city 15 miles away, 10 miles away, whether it's a hood down the block, that whether it's some dudes that we know that we used to catch up on the scene and whatnot, these dudes are about nothing, man. They not talking about nothing. They lack substance. They lack depth. Everything they talk about is baseless. All the moves they make are moves to be seen, moves to be recognized by a lot of individuals that they don't know. Everybody is fresh now. Everybody got an opinion now. Everybody wants to be a politician overnight. Everybody wants to try to have a little tabloid section. Everybody wants to spit game like they have game. Everybody wants to overuse the word simp. Meanwhile, they are a simp themselves. Everybody is butthurt. Meanwhile, they don't want to act like that. And then they want to drag down brothers and sisters down the rabbit hole, down off the cliff with them, bro. And honestly, we can't allow that to happen, bro. Brothers and sisters have to pray for discernment. You have to pray for better judgment to not be allowed to get played by these fools. Because at the end of the day, you're playing yourself, man. What did Drake say? He was like, niggas talk more than bitches these days. Who could get the pussy quicker these days? Come on, bro. How many clowns is on this section, man? 35, 40, 45, 50 years old out here talking about modern women left and right. But meanwhile, they not trying to put no dudes on game. Like on serious game, trying to make moves, trying to put the most high first. Stop putting these women first. Stop putting money first. Stop putting your job first, bro. We not out here to chase money. We not out here to chase these girls, chase every little whore, try to smash everything like that. Everybody's out here gossiping, like clucking like hens out here. Cluck, cluck. Like you at the damn cafeteria lunch tables in high school, bro. This shit is worse than high school, what I see in this so-called black YouTube section, bro. So every time that I try to make a little video and whatnot, I have that dude that helped me out in that music store in the back of my mind every time that I want to make a little video and shit, man. Because everything, it has to have depth, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's come from the heart. It's not coming from no damn emotions and whatnot. These are things that I wish I was told when I was 15, 16, 17, 18, so on and so on, bro. You know what I'm saying? We got brothers out here, they 21 years old and they got a disgust, a strong hate for women and whatnot. And now they feel like they know it all because they on these damn little quote unquote dating channels, these quote unquote pickup game channels, all these channels that want to talk about celebrities and whatnot, and all this trash, my man. And that's why the title of this video is Black Man. Know when to shut the F up, my man. You have to be talking about something every time you open up your mouth, man. You can't just open up your mouth just to be yapping, bro. We talking about grown males, grown females going back and forth, my man. Then we wonder why we can't get along. A good amount of us can't get along. Then we wonder why a good amount of us want to deal with other nations and shit like that, man, when it really shouldn't be like that. Life is not that complex, but all the people make it complex. They make it complicated, and then they want to drag other individuals, innocent individuals, with them, bruh. Y'all want to talk about older individuals competing with youngins, older females competing with younger females. Bras that's 40 years old trying to dress like they 20. Brothers is 40 years old. They going bald. And they talking about tabloid sections. They talking about celebrity couples. Meanwhile, a good amount of those couples are arranged just for an image, man. I check my damn analytics for the first time and I see a good amount of my subscribers. I see the videos that y'all watch. And it's like, damn, yo, it's not going to be that tight. It's not that, yo, listen, I'm on a different type of time over here, bro. You're not going to be hearing me picking out a little video of this chick, of this single mom, of this individual that want to talk something to make you feel better about yourself, man. This ain't no butthurt section. This ain't no simpleton section, bro. Go ahead and watch those other videos, man. Them dudes is not talking about nothing, bruh. Seriously. Not to digress, though. We got this individual. He's a rapper slash gang member and whatnot. Casanova 2X. And that's another thing, bro. Everybody has a podcast. Everybody wants to talk. Everybody has a voice now. Everybody is spilling the beans on themselves. Everybody wants to commit a crime, then go on Snapchat or Instagram. Then under a week, they get arrested. And then they wonder why. A lot of dudes are playing themselves left and right. You might as well just throw up on yourself at the end of the night, man. Seriously. Back to Casanova 2X, man. This dude was going on podcast to podcast, want to be braggadocious about the moves that he, quote unquote, made, either in prison, on the street, or whatever and whatever, man. And then you want to wonder why you getting caught up in a racketeering case. Yo, dude, brothers have to be smarter, man. Y'all making it so easy for these cops. Y'all making it so easy for the FBI, the DEA, and everybody else. It's like you're only playing yourself, man. Know when to shut the hell up, bro. All y'all dudes want to talk. All y'all brothers want to go on live and all this shit and yap. Y'all are just like females. Y'all are no better than females when you're just yapping. And then you get arrested within the next month, within the next week, whatever, bro. And you played yourself because you want to go on Vlad TV. All these rappers go on Vlad TV and they don't monetize. They don't make no money. When you are the subject of the video, this individual makes money off of all these goofballs that want to go on there and talk about their past when that past don't mean nothing, bro. Nobody gives a damn if you was a gang member. Nobody gives a damn about none of that shit, bro. You're not running no businesses, bro. All y'all dudes want to do is extort. Y'all not making no businesses. Y'all not cleaning up the community. Y'all not cleaning up the ghettos. Y'all not cleaning up the hood. You're not cleaning up the streets. You're not doing nothing, bro. You're a waste, man. Come on, man. How many times are brothers going to keep talking about themselves and then it's recorded and then they use that against you when you go to court, man? It makes no sense. Somebody make it make sense for me, man. I don't get it, bro. That's how you know a lot of these dudes are just fake thugs, man. And then y'all wonder why you hear the same garbage on the radio, on these social media outlets. All this stuff gets promoted because the hip hop to prison pipeline is legit, man. Look at all the dudes that get killed or get locked up for some straight nonsense because they either rap about it in their songs or they talk about it on these dumb podcasts, man. And then they got nobody to blame but themselves. Now they're going to sit in the cell for like 10 plus years, man. 10 to life, man. Because you did some nonsense, either got somebody bodied, ordered somebody bodied, did some robbery, something in that nature, bro. Does it make sense for you to rat on yourself when you could be making some other moves? You out here getting notoriety for being a musician and whatnot, man. Make it work then, man. Why don't you take the gang members off of the damn street? How about you use your damn head, man? And then you got brothers, impressionable young brothers that want to follow this nonsense. The cycle continues. Everybody wants to go down this pipeline, man. You listen to hip hop, you imitate the drinking lean, you imitate buying illegal guns, you imitate bodying dudes left and right, and then you go to prison. You don't understand that this stuff is hand in hand. People that's in the music industry have stocks, have investments in private prisons, man. Make it make sense, my man. I'm going to play this recording of this dude, Casanova 2X, when he was in court. I want y'all to listen till the end, my man. Listen to the nonsense this dude did to himself. He dug his own grave, my man. And he was bragging about it. As if you don't think the feds is listening, my man. And you a part of a big street gang. You choking out females, man? Are you serious? And these are the people that you young brothers are idolizing, man. You guys look over the brothers that's going to school. You want to call them squares. You want to call them lames and whatnot. Meanwhile, they are happy with their lives and you're miserable, just like these so-called black YouTubers that want to talk about celebrities, want to talk about betas, want to talk about all these individuals. Meanwhile, they're living their lives and you're miserable just like these dudes. And then you want to follow every single video that they do just because it's entertaining, my man. Listen, man, the only time you should be looking for entertainment is before you're about to knock out. You feel what I'm saying? 95% of this time, you need to be serious out here. If we're behind enemy lines, you have no time for entertainment, man. You need to be looking up knowledge. You need to be making moves out here, bro. All these goofballs be yapping all this nonsense, all this garbage ass music that they promote on the radio, man. Who listens to the radio anymore? Who follows these individuals on IG? Want to follow them? They got all these chains And then you want to call a car a whip. Whips and chains? Come on, man. We already know what that correlates to, right? Make it make sense, man. Y'all spend all these money with these Europeans. Y'all sag y'all pants to show y'all belt. Meanwhile, none of those designers are spending money with your community, bro. Make it make sense. Y'all got all these individuals in your hood making money in your hood. They don't spend that money with you, but y'all still continue to spend money with them. Make it make sense. Y'all got to understand the power of your dollar. We spend $1 trillion at least a year, man. Why the hell we don't have our own businesses? Why the hell we don't have our own record labels, laundromats, dry cleaners, gas stations, supermarkets? The list goes on. Why don't we have these things? Because we're not thinking about the bigger picture, man. I'm going to play this recording, listen to it to the end, because this dude is an idiot, man. No disrespect. But if you make idiotic moves, you're an idiot, man. If you want to be braggadocious about the nonsense moves that you're making, you're going to pay the price. You got to understand, bro, we're living in a digital world. We're living in a surveillance world where damn near everything is getting caught on camera. Everything is getting recorded. So you got to understand what the hell you talking about when you're on the phone, when you're on these podcasts, because everybody is listening, man. They waiting for you to slip up and say the wrong thing. Matter of fact, they waiting for you to slip up and say the right thing, and that's it for you, man. It's slow for you. Listen to this recording, and you're going to just shake your head and understand it's a wrap for all these rappers that you guys are following, man. You guys need to unfollow them. I don't give a damn what they talking about, how good the beat is. They're not talking about nothing. I don't give a damn.
The strip club shooting victims were immediately airlifted to a hospital for treatment, and the defendant has also promoted gang meetings and grown and amplified the gang's message and reach, or as he says in his own words, putting this apeshit worldwide. Releasing the defendant from custody risks considerable danger to the community, and any suggestion by the defense that the defendant is either not a member of Gorilla Stone or that he's merely merely a musician or an ambassador, it's simply not persuasive when the defense claims that. As we noted in our submission, the defendant's a full-fledged, unquestioned leader of the gang. This isn't about rap lyrics or promoting a musical career or marketing or promoting his music. It's about clear and reliable evidence of his gang leadership. As an initial matter, the grand jury, of course, returned the indictment charging the defendant in a racketeering conspiracy count. And in the defendant's own words, in a November 2019 radio interview with Nick Cannon, the defendant made clear that he is, quote-unquote, still ape. That is, a member of Gorilla Stone. And beyond the defendant's public admissions, what he says in private messages powerfully show his prominent role in the gang. In a September 2019 text message, for example, he bragged, "I'm under Dick Wolf, the godfather of all apes." Couldn't be clearer. He's under the founder and leader of Gorilla Stone, his co-defendant, Dwight Reed. Take another example. In an August 2020 text message, he actively promotes Gorilla Stone meetings, calling them mandatory. And he warns members if they don't show up, they will be wiped down. He requests that members pay dues to his co-defendant and friend, Walter Luster, also known as Shell. And in another example, in a December 2019 text message, he tells Dwight Reed's wife, the wife of the head honcho, "I ain't playing, sis. I'm putting this ape shit map worldwide." That is, he's serious. He's promoting and growing the reach of the violent gang. Second, there's the overwhelming weight of the evidence, which was strong the day he was indicted, some of which I just recapped and is further set forth in our written submissions, and is only getting stronger as seized devices from co-defendants, such as Chrysler, have been downloaded, inspected, and reviewed. Similarly unpersuasive is the defense suggestion along the lines that the defendant's Instagram is not his real life, that his public persona is an embellished work of fiction, that he only pretends to be violent on social media and in public, that this is all some sort of act and giant work of fiction. As we noted in our submission, the overwhelming, reliable evidence demonstrate that in private communications and on photos on his private iCloud, this defendant is a narcotic supplier and dealer. He possesses an array of weapons, and as Luster told Reed during a recorded prison visit, he even accidentally fired his gun during a poker game in New York City and always had a gun on him. That is, it's not just a bunch of hype. It's not a bunch of puffing and posturing and trying to seem cool on social media, which we know from the violent incident. We also know it's not a bunch of puffing and posturing because when the defendant and his co-defendant don't think anyone is looking or listening, such as in their private meetings, photos, texts, and calls, there is rampant evidence of guns, drugs, and violence centrally involving this defendant. A third statutory factor is, of course, the history and characteristics of the defendant. It's worth noting he's a career offender with a very violent history.
A participant has joined the conference.
The charged conduct is all the more disturbing given the extensive criminal history and the fact that he engaged in this conduct while on pretrial release for yet another violent felony in New York State. Little need be said about the criminal history. He has 6 criminal convictions, including 3 separate first-degree robbery convictions for 3 gunpoint robberies. 2 of these convictions are for forcible theft armed with a deadly weapon, and the third is for the use or the threatened use of a dangerous instrument. 2 of these convictions resulted in concurrent 6-year jail sentences, and the third, a YO offense, resulted in a term of 1 to 3 years imprisonment. And in public interviews describing these prior gunpoint robberies, the defendant has admitted that he oftentimes was the person carrying the gun and threatening innocent store owners, and he wasn't some mere bystander in these incidents. Moreover, there's the pending second-degree robbery charge in New York State for a 4th violent felony for which he's been on pretrial release and for which his co-defendant in that case pled guilty and was sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. That's the case in the diner where the defendant triggered a violent attack on a female victim, seemingly because the defendant suspected her of filming him on her cell phone, resulting in Senior lunging at the victim to snatch the phone and Senior's underling doing the dirty work of violently choking her out in the melee. Now, for his part, the defense concedes the violence of the prior gunpoint robbery convictions, but argues that these were long ago and the defendant is a new man today than he was back then. And that may be so, Your Honor, but in response, we respectfully note that the recent conduct is every bit as bad, including the defendant leading and supplying a narcotics distribution operation, possessing firearms, and leading a gang wherein he instigated multiple violent incidents that we discussed, including the strip club shooting. In that shooting in October of 2020, victims were airlifted to a hospital, and just because the defendant is now close to the very top of the enterprise and had more junior members pull the trigger and choke out the victim, this does not absolve him of responsibility. Far from it. In short, the only thing the passage of time from his 3 prior first-degree convictions has established is that the defendant has moved up from the more junior role as muscle to a leadership role where he has his underling do the dirty work on his and the gang's behalf. The 4th statutory factor is the nature and seriousness of the danger, and I won't further beat the dead horse. I think that's been covered above in describing the conduct. With regards to flight risk, Your Honor, the government doesn't press this ground as hard as the palpable danger argument, but we do agree with pretrial services. The defendant is a risk of flight. The charges carry a significant mandatory minimum and a statutory maximum sentence of life. The defendant isn't safety valve eligible, and those penalties, coupled with the strong evidence, create every incentive for him to flee and not serve the lengthy sentence that he faces. And ultimately, notwithstanding the self-surrender in this case, the defendant's conduct in the moments after he learned that the FBI was looking for him, whereby he dropped his phone, made his way from Atlanta to New York and several states in between, and somehow evaded detection and apprehension by the FBI, who was looking for him during a nearly 2-day period, shows both an ability to skillfully evade law enforcement detection and the willingness to do so, at least for a period of time. In short, Your Honor, the defendant has not rebutted the presumption in favor of detention, and in the end, as pretrial services has recommended, the defendant poses a serious danger to the community and risk of flight. Detention is warranted.
All right, fellas, that's enough of this video right here, man. I'm not trying to make this to bash this brother. I hope he could learn from his mistakes and come out of this situation a better individual, and hopefully he could direct individuals that's around him or in the area or whoever to go down a positive path, man. Brothers, we have to make our next move, our best move, like a chess move. We're not playing checkers out here in this land. We have to think 3 moves ahead before we want to take that first step. We have so many distractions, so many emotions, so many movements and everything that's coming in our direction that a lot of people might get overwhelmed. A lot of people might get pressured to do this, to do that. You know what I'm saying? Pray for discernment, pray for better judgment. Stop putting these entertainers, influencers, or whatever first. You have to understand the witchcraft and the spells that goes on in this music industry is strong, man. A lot of people don't really understand that they're under a spell. As soon as they might hear that catchy beat, there's some ignorant lyrics. Now a lot of people want to go ahead and portray those lyrics when they're not really living that lifestyle, when they're not really about that life, man. We have to be better out here, man. Let me know what you think. Holla.